is not pleased with the decision by Tungwarara to go, after him. We are seeing the allies of Tagwirei actually launching more missiles against Tungwarara. At the moment, Tungwarara appears to be in serious trouble. It appears all the machinery of Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa is taking aim at him. But the question is, if you look at Tungwarara, what he did, how he actually wanted to land to the top, Central Committee, level. This is exactly the same way actually Gudawashe Tagwirei did. And you can ask yourself this question: why so much energy to try and actually get rid or fight against Tungwarara? Is this marking the fall of Tungwarara because of crossing the red lines when it comes to Gudawashe Tagwirei's interest? Will Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa sacrifice his focus, advisor to the UAE? That remains to be seen. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Nullifying Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. It appears Patrick Chinamasa. We know that Patrick Chinamasa is an ally of Tagwirei by virtue of being the signatory of the properties of ZANU-PF that were usurped by Tagwirei. We understand Blessed Geza revealed that Patrick Chinamasa worked with Tagwirei to actually usurp the properties of ZANU-PF. So in simple terms, Patrick Chinamasa is in the pockets of Gudawashe Tagwirei. He finds himself in a desperate a position and forced to be in support of Gudawashe Tagwirei. He has written something on X, and I'm saying this appears to be big, especially for Tungwarara. Scales are not on him. He says, reference letter dated 11 December 2025, and here to attached addressed to Comrade T. Mukotsa, ZANU-PF Manicaland Provincial Chairman, by the National Political Commissar, Comrade Mnyaradzi Machacha, nullifying the co-option of Dr. Paul Tungwarara into the Central Committee of ZANU-PF by the Manicaland Provincial Coordinating Committee, PCC, on Sunday, 7 December 2025. He says, I support the decision of Comrade Machacha 100%, indeed wholeheartedly, for the reasons given and more. He says, for the reasons given and more. And the reasons that were given was that the process did not follow the constitutional statutes. In fact, not the constitution, but they said, let me just read this letter because he attached the letter that was written by Machacha. But remember, Machacha is not acting on his own. Someone has told him, do this. The bedroom of Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa appears not to be pleased with Tungwarara. Let me read the letter by Machacha. It says, the Commissariat Department has established that Manicaland Provincial Coordinating Committee convened a meeting on Sunday, 7 December 2025, during which Comrade Dr. Paul T. Tungwarara was co-opted as a Central Committee member, filling the vacant post left by Comrade Dorothy Mabika. In this regard, you are advised that the said co-option has been nullified with immediate effect as the process contravened the legal department circular dated 30 June 2025, which set out mandatory guidelines. So they say it did not follow mandatory guidelines and procedures for co-opting members in the Central Committee, among other key provisions. Remember that Patrick Chinamasa, when he was Secretary for Legal Affairs, we saw them exchanging words with the then Secretary General of ZANU-PF, that is none other than Opet Mpofu. Opet Mpofu published a different circular from Patrick Chinamasa, and Patrick Chinamasa had to issue a counter circular. I think that is what got Opet Mpofu in trouble and eventually fired by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. How do you get to see that within the camp of Mnangagwa there is trouble? You get to see when they are now fighting publicly like this, and individuals like Patrick Chinamasa coming out openly saying they are picking a side in the conflict. In fact, by saying he supports Machacha, it's an indirect way of saying he is supporting Budawashe Tagwirei over Paul Tungwarara. So Budawashe Tagwirei is seemingly positioning himself to capture ZANU-PF and to have support across all the provinces of Zimbabwe, especially the ZANU-PF structures, so that in the event there is a Congress to elect a new president, he is elected as the new president, most probably in the 2027 Congress of ZANU-PF. That is what is in the mind of Budawashe Tagwirei. So what became a problem now with Tungwarara is that he was becoming big-headed in the world of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, as well as also, sometimes God has a way of taking people down. And I'm sure in a similar fashion that Tagwirei is doing to Tungwarara, it's going to end in tears. I like it because these two were seemingly working together, and I want that they are not united. A lot of these people are bootlickers, especially Mnyaradzi Machacha and this Patrick Chinamasa. They are simply being used, and they are tracking so high because at the moment the people who are seemingly in charge is Budawashe Tagwirei behind the scenes. Definitely he appears to be controlling the bedroom of Mnangagwa so bad to such an extent that when he tells them to jump, they even ask how high from the look of things. So Tungwarara is in serious trouble. If you see the Mnangagwa bootlickers coming against you to the extent they are coming against him, understand that there is serious trouble for the gentleman who was flying in helicopters. The monies that he was spending to fly using private helicopters to Mutare to actually bootlick for Emma. Bootlicking is very, very painful because it ends so bad. It ends so bad, so terrific. And I've said that these people hate each other. It's just noise, and noise. To see that this theme of 2030 term extension, even court is against it. Look at how they are fighting. Look at the confusion associated with those who are seemingly supporting this nonsense. Will now Tungwarara drop out of the politics? I don't think so, because that one is an opportunist. He knows that being in politics, it's actually an act of survival. He's trying to survive, run away from possible criminal prosecution. So definitely he will go and lean and kneel to Mnangagwa, as well as also to Tagwirei, and most probably reduce himself to actually a bootlicker, not be big-headed. He has no option but to do so in order to continue to survive within the very short space of time, because Mnangagwa is equally going, and when he goes, all of these guys, definitely life would be extremely difficult, especially if he goes, taking into consideration on how they have overstretched the faction of retired General Chiwenga in the process to survive, or for their businesses to survive and continue enjoying the loot. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live,